Hello, everyone. I'm Meg Milligan, and I have the honor of moderating this session today. And it is most assuredly my honor to introduce our speaker, Yvonne Ho, who is originally from New York. She moved to California, where she earned her master's degree in applied linguistics from UCLA and taught English as a second language, ESL. And I recently learned that she's been teaching online since 2005. So she's definitely an early adopter in previous discussions and sessions. She became interested in ChatGPT, which she calls, quote, a calculator for writing, end of quote. She's here today to talk to us about how to use ChatGPT for academic writing. So with that, I'll hand it over to Yvonne.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are. And so today I'm going to talk about how ChatGPT can be used for academic writing. And so here I will share my screen. Without further ado, I always say that to all my students. And so here I will share it, and let's see, is it this one? It's this one, yeah. All right, and so I will start without further ado from the beginning. Okay, so ChatGPT came on the scene, and so today I'm going to talk about ChatGPT and the writing process, and how ChatGPT is used in creative writing, business writing, science writing, grading rubrics, essay feedback, and how ChatGPT has bias, and then how some teachers want to ChatGPT proof their assignments while other teachers want to embrace ChatGPT. And then I will talk about other AI tools. So that in a nutshell is what I'm going to cover today. And so what is AI? AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines. It encompasses a wide range of technologies and approaches aimed at enabling machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. These tasks include problem solving, understanding natural language, recognizing patterns, making decisions, and learning from data. And so one of the things that I love about ChatGPT is that it helps with content generation, grammar and style checking, language and language translation. And many people think that AI is going to disrupt teaching. But what I find is that AI helps in brainstorming and revision. And I always tell students that it's great for idea generation. So AI is poised to disrupt traditional methods of teaching, writing, by offering unprecedented benefits such as personalized instruction, instant feedback, accessibility around the clock. With AI-driven tools like ChatGPT, students receive tailored guidance, detect errors, and improve their writing skills in reducing the dependence on traditional classroom schedules. So basically, I'm going to show you that how ChatGPT relates to the writing process. So you have 3 stages to the writing process. You have pre-writing, which entails the brainstorming of ideas, crafting an outline, and formulating a thesis statement. You have writing, which involves translating the outline into a rough draft. And you have rewriting, encompassing the revision and editing of the initial draft. So keep in mind, that is the writing process that is used to teach composition. So I suggest to students that it's okay to use ChatGPT in the pre-writing stage. So you use ChatGPT for idea generation. You teach students that they can use ChatGPT to formulate their thesis statement, and they can use ChatGPT to write an outline for their paper. All of that is within the pre-writing stage of the paper. Then, after the student has their ChatGPT outline, then the student will go and write their own essay. So in the second stage, which is the writing stage, I let students write their own essay without any help from ChatGPT. So once you have your rough draft done, then you have the rewriting stage. Then you can go back to ChatGPT to revise your essay. So I tell people that if there's anything that you don't, if there's one rule takeaway from this presentation, it's this. You can use ChatGPT for the pre-writing stage and the rewriting stage, but I suggest you don't have students have ChatGPT write the essay for them. So in the writing stage, that's the only stage where I tell students that they have to write the essay themselves. And it's in the writing stage, students will also have to do the old-fashioned way of looking up their sources, going to the library, because ChatGPT, at least 3.5, hallucinates sources. So you still have to do your own research, write your paper. But you can use ChatGPT for brainstorming in pre-writing, and you can use ChatGPT in rewriting for revision. So in the next few sessions, I'm going to talk about how ChatGPT helps the writer in both the pre-writing stage and in the rewriting stage. And so in this section, so in the pre-writing stage, use ChatGPT for the pre-writing stage, such as idea generation and rewriting for checking for grammar. And so, so here you have, this is how ChatGPT can help a writer in the pre-writing stage. It helps generate ideas. So you can engage in a conversation with ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas and explore various angles or perspectives. You can use ChatGPT to request ChatGPT to help create an outline for your paper. And if you have doubts or you need information, ChatGPT can break down complex ideas into simpler terms. And also, ChatGPT can come up with creative writing prompts. So if you're stuck on what is it do I want to write about, then ChatGPT can give you a list of writing prompts of what you can write about. ChatGPT can help you build vocabulary, and it can create essay topics. For instance, if your first assignment is to write about an illustrative essay in which you solve a small problem, and then you have no idea what problem should I be solving. And so then you can go to ChatGPT and type in the prompt, what are some essay topics for an illustrative essay? Then ChatGPT will come up with solutions or topics like the art of time management, how to make the most of your daily routine, a guide to organizing your cluttered workspace for increased productivity. Students can then choose a topic from that list that interests them to write their paper on. So that's all in pre-writing. If your teacher wants a definition essay, then ChatGPT can come up with a list of topics for definition essays, and also a list of topics for argumentative essays. And then the answer to these questions, should the use of smartphones be restricted in schools to enhance learning environment? And I would tell students the answer to those questions will become their thesis statement. And so here, once again, you have a list from which students can choose. So in order to choose what they want to write from. And then once students have a few ideas of what they want to write about, then they could put in those ideas into ChatGPT and then have ChatGPT create an outline. And here I would tell students, once you have the outline, that's where you stop using ChatGPT, and then you sit down and you write out your 5-paragraph essay structure, and then you do research in order to justify it. So by the time you come back to ChatGPT for revision, you already have your rough draft, your 5 paragraphs, and you have your and you're ready for revision. Okay, so you've written your rough draft, you've got your APA in-text citation in front of you. So now you want to correct grammar. So how can ChatGPT help you in the rewriting stage? So you can request ChatGPT to generate transition sentences. You can have ChatGPT paraphrase awkward, and this is most importantly if you're an ESL student and your English is not very good. So let's say you're a Spanish speaker, you have a tendency of saying, is it una table, is it a table, or something, that kind of thing, instead of saying it is a table. And also Spanish speaking students tend to say, is important that we, it is important. They don't say it is important. So you can have ChatGPT clarify your language and take care of your grammar. And also you can type into the prompt, use third person case if the teacher wants a professional tone. and then write clarify grammar and put in sentence variety. And then you use ChatGPT in the same way you use Grammarly, you see. So this is how students actually use Grammarly. When I say ChatGPT in revision, it's similar to how people are using Grammarly all this time. And Grammarly also has its own AI called Grammarly Go. So students can use, everything's got its own AI. So you can use ChatGPT to improve paragraph and sentence flow. If the student has limited vocabulary, you can ask ChatGPT to enhance the vocabulary. You can also ask ChatGPT for a formal tone or writing from a particular point of view, like historical point of view, structural improvements. You can engage with ChatGPT to review the overall structure of your essay to make sure that your paper has one central idea. You can ask ChatGPT to evaluate your thesis statement and offer feedback. So after the student inputs his whole essay into the, and also I would tell students not to put their names into their, for privacy reasons, and you just cut and paste your essay into the ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT can then evaluate your essay structure, your thesis statement, and it can offer feedback. And so that's one of the things. So grammar, proofreading, consistency check, fact checking. And even if ChatGPT gives you citations, some students use ChatGPT for citations, as long as you double check to make sure those citations exist, you can use ChatGPT for references. But I would always double check. Now, other AI tools, which I'll talk about later, are much better at giving reliable sources, such as Bing AI, Google Bard, or Perplexity AI. And so I would hesitate to rely on ChatGPT for sources, but it's very good with essay structure for pre-writing purposes and for rewriting purposes. And so here, use ChatGPT for peer review feedback, use ChatGPT to give student paper feedback, and use ChatGPT to make writing grading rubrics. And so teachers can use ChatGPT to create a writing rubrics. And so ChatGPT can assist in providing essay feedback. So you input your rubric. And so I just took a rubric for one of my classes where it's 20% tone and 40% essay structure, and then 20% grammar. And then I put that in, and then ChatGPT created this. So it was really great. And so ChatGPT is very good at creating, that. And then also when you input student papers into ChatGPT, it gives you this kind of a feedback. The tone of the essay is appropriately serious when discussing the issue of homelessness, aligning with the genre of a problem-solving essay. It demonstrates concern and a call to action. The essay structure is well organized and follows a clear progression from introducing the issue of homelessness to proposing solutions. And so here you can, these are all examples of, but ChatGPT has a limit of 30 messages per hour. So if you have more than 30 students and you have, let's say 100 students, and you want to put in all 100 essays, you could use myessayfeedback.ai, which is created, one of my colleagues at Los Angeles Pacific University, he's the one who got me into it. And so this particular AI, it's based on ChatGPT, and you can either have the students put in their own feedback to get feedback from their paper, or you, the professor, can put in the feedback. And I got all of this from my colleague at LAPU. He didn't mind that I use his name, so that his name is Todd West. So it was his idea that I use my essay feedback, and Todd West got the idea from Anna Mills. This is how, if you use myessayfeedback.ai, it's an AI just for grading papers, and it will come up with this kind of feedback for your papers. It will comment on organization, ideas and content, on voice. And Todd says he uses it at his one of his schools. organization, idea, content, voice. And he says he has his students upload their papers, and then the students are able to see right away in real time the feedback for their paper. And that's sort of similar to Grammarly, except Grammarly just talks about grammar. And so word choice, sentence fluency, conventions, presentation, that sort of thing. And here you have more presentation. And so I tell students that use ChatGPT for the pre-writing stage and the rewriting stage of the writing process, but not to have ChatGPT write your essay for you. And so, because this is how, if you tell ChatGPT, write a 5-paragraph essay, use third-person case on this topic, this is what will come out in ChatGPT. And so it does all the work for you. And so that's why I tell students to skip the writing stage, because otherwise students don't have any clue of what they're writing about, because they let ChatGPT do all the work for them. And so ChatGPT can be used the way you use a Google search engine on steroids and the way you use Grammarly. So do not permit students to rely on ChatGPT to write essays for them. It is crucial for students to independently craft their essays in order to enhance their critical thinking skills. And so before I go into what is prompt engineering for me is being able to put in the correct prompts to get the results I want from ChatGPT. And so that's prompt engineering. And so I say that there are 4 sections to writing a good prompt in ChatGPT. First, you put in the context. I am an online teacher teaching English composition in an 8-week class. Then you have action. What is it you want ChatGPT to do? Write a blog article, give me sentence variety, rewrite my conclusion, put my essay in third-person case. So that's the second part of the writing prompt. The third part is write a blog article so that the reader will be persuaded of my point of view. And then the last part is format. Write this article as a PowerPoint presentation, or write this article as an Excel worksheet, or write this article as a Microsoft Word document. And so these are the parts that I consider are the 4 parts that creates a good prompt. And if you don't want to keep typing in, I am an online teacher, I am an online teacher in an 8-week class, you can put, so here's some, I went ahead. So here are some example prompts. I am an online teacher. I teach a class of college freshman English. Action, write an outline that talks about the necessity for gun control. Effect, convince the reader that your point of view is correct. Format, write this as a PowerPoint presentation. Context, I teach 8th grade. I am teaching a social studies class. Then action, write a syllabus for the American history from 1865 to the present. Effect, I want all students of all backgrounds to learn about history in America. Format, write as a Microsoft Word document. So context, action, effect, format. So that's what I found to be an effective. There are many ways to do this, but that's what I found to. And if you want to have many, you just keep pressing more. That's how people come up with hundreds of these prompts, and it will come up with hundreds of similar. See, I wrote the first 2, and these are the 2 that was generated by GPT based on my first 2 essays. So far so good, huh? And if you don't want to keep repeating your context over and over again, you can use custom instructions in ChatGPT to avoid always having to repeat your context. So custom instructions are a tool used to guide the output of language models like GPT-3, allowing users to specify the desired context, style, or intent of generated. I haven't actually used custom instructions myself because I use ChatGPT for everything. But if you're just using ChatGPT to write your lesson plans, or you use it for essay writing for your class, then you can use custom instructions, and that cuts in half your the amount of information you have to put into your prompt. And so experimentation and iteration is part of the prompt engineering process, in which if you put in a prompt, but it doesn't quite give you the output you want, then you would refine your prompt until finally ChatGPT gives you what you want. And as I was reading an article, she says that is the essence of prompt engineering, where you keep prompting until you get the output that you want. So the writing prompt formula that I use is context plus action plus effect plus format. So that's great for, and then I want to write about ChatGPT in business and creative writing. So you can use ChatGPT. This is even more crucial for ESL students so that they can sound more American. So use ChatGPT to write emails, business letters, resume, and cover letters. And also you can use ChatGPT to write poems, short stories, novel chapters, video scripts, podcast scripts, movie screenplays, or movie scripts. And now you know why Hollywood is having its big strike, because they're afraid that when ChatGPT writes those movie screenplays, that would put out of work the TV writers, you see. And so that was why they had that big argument. And so ChatGPT provides valuable resources for, if you're writing a story, then ChatGPT can give you advice on plot development, character development, plot twists, and dialogue, how to write a good, so idea generations for creative writing. ChatGPT can help writers brainstorm ideas for stories and poems. ChatGPT is great for writing about well-developed characters and backstories, personality traits for characters. It can also help you if you're stuck on the plot. You don't know what else to write for your story. It can give you creative plot points, and it can give you plot twists, and it can improve your story structure. If you want more exciting dialogue, ChatGPT can also refine and create an engaging dialogue and sentence structure. And then, and so I tried out ChatGPT. ChatGPT can also write a story in the style of your favorite author. And this is also another reason why a lot of authors were up in arms, because, well, that's another, I'll talk about that in a second. So here I put in the prompt, write a science fiction story in the style of Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek. And so here, this is the story that ChatGPT came up with. Captain Arya Lark, a fearless explorer, and her crew were on a mission to chart the uncharted regions of the universe. Aboard the starship Serenity Voyager, they embarked on a voyage that would push the boundaries of human knowledge. In this tale of cosmic discovery, they encountered a phenomenon beyond their wildest dreams. And this is what they encountered. They encountered a planet that was covered with brilliant luminescent flora that swayed in tune with the cosmic melody. The inhabitants, known as Harmonians, were beings of pure energy, shimmering like ethereal notes. Their existence revolved around the harmony of the universe. And ChatGPT wrote this story, by the way. However, not all of the aliens sought harmony. A rogue faction known as the Dissonance had rejected the teachings of Harmonia, aiming to disrupt the cosmic balance. Arya and her crew found themselves in a battle. And so in the very end, of course, everybody makes up, and so you can see that ChatGPT is very capable of writing an American science fiction story. Now, it can also write a Chinese science fiction story in the style of Liu Shiqin. Well, Liu Shiqin, he's kind of like the Gene Roddenberry of China, because he wrote the three-body problem. And so here, ChatGPT wrote another science fiction story. Once upon a time in a future where humanity had colonized the stars, Dr. Li Mei figured out a way to create a wormhole in which people can travel through the wormhole. And so they were fascinated by the ecliptic paradox, a cosmic enigma that had puzzled scientists for ages. This paradox, a strange region of space where the laws of physics seem to break down. And so after decades of research, Dr. Li Mei made a groundbreaking discovery. She found a way to stabilize wormholes within the device. known as the ecliptic nexus. And so inside the nexus, a surreal realm emerged. It was a fusion of mathematical concepts, swirling geometric shapes, and a cascading fractal. And they encountered, and inside the fractal, they encountered the eclipse architect. And so here, the eclipse architect offered Li a profound choice: to stay and become guardians of knowledge, or to go back home and tell people that the universe is just a single line of code in the grand cosmic symphony, and that it is a creation of being beyond human understanding. And so here, so what's interesting is that in the American sci-fi story about the people who found those harmonians, in the American sci-fi story, it's all about exploration and adventure. In the Chinese science fiction story, it's not so much about meeting aliens, it's about exploration of scientific knowledge. So you can use ChatGPT for comparative literature analysis, in which you compare an American science fiction, what are the values of that, and then the values of Chinese science fiction. So in Chinese science fiction, it's all about learning scientific facts. And in American science fiction, it's all about traveling and meeting aliens. And so that's a great way to start out a unit on American versus Chinese science fiction. And this is Liu Shiqin, who wrote the book that popularized science fiction in China. And this is, of course, Gene Roddenberry. Everybody knows who he is. And also, I won't read out the whole poem. I'll just read the first verse. You can ChatGPT can also write poetry. And so I'll read the first verse and the last verse. In nature's arms, we find our tranquil grace, where life's rhythms harmonize in every place. The rustling leaves, the babbling streams awaken in us the sweetest of dreams. And so here, it wrote a whole poem. And I'll just read the last two. From deserts so arid to jungles so green, nature's wonders are the most enchanting scene. In her grand design, we find our place, connected to all in a delicate embrace. So let us cherish this earth, for it's a treasure of immeasurable worth. Nature's embrace, we're here to roam, a world of wonder, our eternal home. And so then you can use ChatGPT, for example, an assignment. You can assign ChatGPT to create various types of poems and instruct students to input the verses into a text-to-picture generator. And that way you demonstrate to students how poetry evokes the mental image of the poet's thoughts. And also I put the verses into text into Bing, and I put these exact poetry verses into Bing, and I got these pictures. That's where these pictures came from, is when I put the verses of the poem into the same thing. I put the storylines into Bing, and I came up with these pictures. So this helps teach students that literature or poetry is a mental, the author is painting a mental picture for the students. So this helps get students more into reading. If they make the connection, oh, this also came from the poem, where I put the verses of the poem. So ChatGPT can write stories, podcasts. I've used it for video scripts, poems, and more. So ChatGPT works great for creative writing. And ChatGPT can generate business documents such as reports, proposals, memos, and business plans. You can provide ChatGPT with the necessary information, and it will generate a well-structured, coherent document in line with your specifications. It's also great to generate marketing materials for blog posts, social media updates, product descriptions. And ChatGPT can generate a creative and engaging, tailored to your audience. And you can use it for data-driven business. It can summarize and interpret data, create charts, and you can also figure out your niche and your audience. So ChatGPT can write email, business letters, business proposals, and analysis reports, and more. And this is great for ESL students whose English looks like really ESL mistakes, and then ChatGPT will erase all traces of your ESL-ish, and you become totally American. So here are in the context of various business assignments, utilizing ChatGPT, you can instruct students on utilizing ChatGPT to enhance their email writing skills, compose more effective business letters, optimize their resumes and cover letters, and provide a model business correspondence to aid ESL or EFL students in learning business English. In learning business English. And then ChatGPT can also support students in writing a science paper, where it aids in selecting and refining research topics, locating credible sources, assist in structuring the paper and outline, formulating a clear thesis statement, conducting literature reviews, outlining research methodologies, citing sources. Of course, if you're using just ChatGPT for citing sources, you still have to fact check ChatGPT, but there are other AI that's much better at sources. So ChatGPT can help students choose research topics, find good sources, and create a clear science paper outline with sections and subtopics. And so here, ChatGPT can help with literature review. It can critically analyze and synthesize existing research in the field. However, ChatGPT has limited access to paywall stuff that's in databases in an online library. So that's why I tell students, you still have to do your old-fashioned research the old-fashioned way by going to the online library. But ChatGPT can help you with, if you don't know how to put in a in-text citation, you don't know the formulation of a reference citation, then you would use ChatGPT to help you with formatting. And so ChatGPT can help students outline their research methods and techniques. It can help them with the formatting of citation and referencing, and it can help them with writing and editing. And it can help them with data analysis. And you could ask ChatGPT to peer review their entire science paper for any weaknesses in argumentation or in methodology. And so, so ChatGPT is going to transform the conventional research process by offering efficient information retrieval, aiding idea generation, streamlining writing, enhancing accessibility, promoting cross-disciplinary insights, automating fact-checking, well, not quite, but anyway, facilitating collaboration and overcoming barriers. You still have to, when you fact-check, you still have to corroborate your material to see that the sources exist. So while it has the potential to make research more accessible, ChatGPT, as the other presentators have mentioned, has the potential for bias. And the reason why ChatGPT has bias is because that's why, as a researcher, you have to exercise critical thinking, because the information, the internet that the ChatGPT was trained on has biases. So therefore, ChatGPT has biases. But ChatGPT is a great resource for non-native speaking English researchers, so that they can improve their English in structuring their papers, so that more of their papers are structured so well that they can then get into more American scholarly journals. And it's great for equity. And so that's one of the reasons. And if you want, ChatGPTF is a free online tool that, if you upload a PDF of a research paper, the ChatGPTF will summarize that research paper for you. So that's a great way to summarize your sources for your annotated bibliography in your research. Now, the old-fashioned way is to simply read the article. And so ChatGPT is great for idea generation, revision. Since ChatGPT sources are not reliable, a researcher needs to make sure that the sources exist. And so, so to make students accountable, you can ChatGPT proof your assignments. And in order to do that, you ChatGPT proof your assignments by having students have a lot of writing process, have them write multiple drafts, have them write in pen and pencil, make sure there's no internet in the room. You can have students compare a human written essay with an AI generated essay. So some teachers are resistant to ChatGPT, so they want to ChatGPT proof their writing assignments. And so have students do it the old-fashioned way, pen and pencil. If you're in a and if you identify students who have cheated, then you should consider administering oral tests. Request students to explain the content of their papers, and also teach students the ethical usage, providing the ethical usage of ChatGPT, and also use more current events, since ChatGPT is only trained to September of 2021. So these are all the different ways in which you can ChatGPT proof your assignments if you're against ChatGPT and you want to prevent ChatGPT students from using ChatGPT. And now if you use sources from ChatGPT, you need to cite the source like you would any other source. So in-text citation would be OpenAI 2023, and then this would be how you would teach students how to do a reference citation in ChatGPT. Now, if you want to embrace ChatGPT, because some people go the opposite direction. They want to embrace ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT for a syllabus of how would you teach writing in ChatGPT. And so this is what ChatGPT wrote. Week 1, you would write about what is AI and how do I write a prompt. Second week, how you could use ChatGPT for pre-writing, then how you could use ChatGPT for rewriting. Then you would introduce ChatGPT and business writing, then the ethical usage of ChatGPT, then ChatGPT and creative writing, then how to make an oral presentation with ChatGPT. And then week 8 would be ChatGPT and communications. That is how ChatGPT can be used for podcasts, videos, and all other kinds, movie scripts. So that's what I mean by AI and communications. So at this point, writing faculty are split on the usage of AI. Those that are against AI want to ChatGPT proof their assignments, and those who embrace AI want to learn how can they teach students how to do AI. And so if you want more, another downside of ChatGPT are the biases. So ChatGPT has bias because the material it was trained on, the internet, has bias. So I asked ChatGPT, what biases do you have? And ChatGPT says that it has societal bias, cultural bias, data bias, confirmation bias, stereotypes. So be careful of the information you use. And generative AI in general has bias. So Victoria Turk examined 3,000 images generated by the text-to-picture generator Midjourney. She utilized prompts such as Mexican man and Indonesian food and found that a significant number of the resulting images exhibited biased and stereotypical portrayals of various cultures. So when she put in a Mexican person, why are all the Mexicans an old man with a sombrero? So Midjourney has biases. It simplifies, it reduces the world to a stereotype. Why are all Indonesian foods on banana plates, on banana leaves? So to mitigate bias in AI systems like ChatGPT, it's crucial to adopt a multifaceted approach. This includes formulating neutral and unbiased prompts, actively reviewing and editing AI-generated responses to remove any potential biases, diversifying information sources to ensure a balanced perspective, and challenging stereotypes when they emerge. So that means that even if you use ChatGPT for your paper, you have to read over your paper to make sure there are no biases. If you use pictures from ChatGPT, the paid version anyway, you have to make sure that all the pictures show a diverse section of the population. I would still avoid using ChatGPT for research due to its potential for generating fictitious sources, and also refrain from using ChatGPT during the actual writing stage, and also abstain from using ChatGPT for forum responses so that students can then write about their personal thoughts, original thoughts, and not depend on ChatGPT only for grading, in other words, feedback. So you should still be the one grading your own papers and not have ChatGPT grade the papers for you. But ChatGPT is a great complement or something that would help you grade papers, and it's something that would help you write papers, not something that would do it all for you. Will AI replace human writers? AI should be used as a writing tool to make the writing process faster, but human writers are still needed to add humor, empathy, patience, pathos, sarcasm to the piece. Human writers are needed to check the accuracy of the facts, prevent bias, and provide multiple perspectives of humans of all backgrounds and cultures. And so in the future, AI written text will become the norm, and ChatGPT will become as commonplace as the math calculator. The downside is that companies might hire fewer writers, and that's once again why the Hollywood strikers were striking. They fear that their livelihoods would be in danger. And do you think that teachers will be replaced by AI? And mostly everyone says no, because teachers bond with the students, have empathy for students that ChatGPT does not have. So most of the articles agree that ChatGPT will not replace teachers or writers. And in the future, when we teach writing, instead of focusing on grammar and punctuation for high school students, we would focus more on teaching students how to use AI for writing. And so for teaching English composition, ChatGPT offers several advantages. Instructors can use ChatGPT as a supplemental tool to provide immediate feedback to students, reduce the workload associated with grading, and allowing more time for personalized instruction, and can also serve as a resource for providing additional writing examples and exercises that help students. What I love about ChatGPT is it provides model essays so that students can see what a good essay looks like. Now, ChatGPT sounds kind of robotic. And so, I would also teach students how to instill into the ChatGPT, output. If you're using that, I would teach students how to write in their personal voice. Okay, that's a whole nother. So that's going to be important, is teaching people about their voice. So ChatGPT is an invaluable resource for ESL students. So the ESL students can see what a model essay looks like, and can also correct the grammar, sentence structure, and tone and verb tense of ESL students. So it's beneficial for ESL students, and you can expand your vocabulary, refine your writing skills, and also it's great with tone. Okay, so if you're a business person, you're not sure if what you're writing is professional enough. Just like with Grammarly, you can check ChatGPT and say, please write this in a friendly tone. Then the email is written in a friendly tone. Or please write this in a very formal tone. Then the email is written in a formal tone. So it's great for if you're in a bad mood and you're not in a good mood to be friendly, you can have ChatGPT write the friendly email for you. And that idea came from one of my, I'm not going to say which one of my colleagues. And so, however, it's crucial to acknowledge that ChatGPT has limitations. It might generate suggestions that are not technically correct. It might hallucinate. And so it has biases. So it's important for users to fact check for biases. And that's where human intervention comes in. And as of this presentation, ChatGPT 3.5 is now limited to 30 messages per hour. So it used to be unlimited. And so last word, in conclusion, ChatGPT presents numerous advantages for writing assistance and teaching English composition. Its accessibility, timely feedback, and educational value make it a valuable resource for individuals seeking to enhance their writing skills and educators looking to provide effective instruction in English composition. It should be used judiciously and in conjunction with human expertise. And so ChatGPT offers substantial benefits to writers and English composition teachers. And then this part, I just write about all the other AI tools that you can use, and I'm done. And I will just do this and just show off that there's so many different, this is the one that blows my mind. Look at how many AI tools there are. and I am done with my presentation. And here are some discussion questions if you want to use them. Is there any time for a discussion?
This has been, I think, a tremendous presentation. We seem to be out of time. There are a lot of great questions and comments in the chat. One quick one is ChatGPT free version able to do all the things that you're mentioning?
ChatGPT free version is text-based, and ChatGPT paid version has the ability that Bing has. In other words, I don't have the paid version; I have the free version. So when I researched how the paid version is used, I use the Bing AI. So if you can afford the paid, so no, ChatGPT is text-based. So if you want images, you got to go to Bing AI.
Thank you. I think we're out of time, which I'm very sorry. And there's some great chat, and I'm sure that you can get in touch with our tremendous presenter when we're finished with this session.
Oh, okay. So I'll
Thank
just stop sharing and thank everybody for attending, and I hope everybody has a great week. And that's actually how I say that to students. And also, if you want to watch any of my writing videos, I'm on Professor H writing channel. So that's where all my other lectures are. So I guess this is where I sign off, or do I do a discussion or what?
I think we're out of time, so we need to sign off.
Okay, all right.
But
Thank you
very
so much.
much.